Good morning. It's Friday, 23rd of June 2023. The time, I believe, is about 6:18 in the morning. Uh, and I'm just behind the BBC Leicester, the offices, and here in Jubilee Square. Okay, here we are. Now, during COVID, I used to come here, and and it's to feel like, oh, it's doomsday, yeah. I mean, what we're going to do now, very few people is to be around. I mean, most people, they would be at home or isolating and whatnot, and it's only, 2.5, 3 years ago now, yeah, March 2020 now. Yeah, that's when the official COVID news, sort of enveloped or became known, if you like. The other fancy word for it. Yeah. At least in the West, it might have been known elsewhere, not only China. Yeah. But they probably suppressed it anyway. Yeah. You know how governments are. Yeah. They keep their own interest. Now, I don't want to go on about the Chinese government first thing in the morning. Nothing per se against the Chinese government. Okay, so that's enough digression right there. Now, I haven't been active on social media for a while now, yeah, and there's good reasons why, yeah. I'm just looking, I'm very conscientious, yeah. People, I mean, behind me, I don't want to, even unknowingly, I want to record them because, and people all over the world, they record, they don't even bother, right? Yeah. But my mind is not focused completely on vlogging at the moment, right? Yeah. It's more making a living now, yeah. Because I find, there's a few things about myself I found out, that if I want to complete this task, yeah, or achieve something, I have to focus 110% on that goal. And if I divide my goals right now, yeah, then nothing gets done. Yeah. So that's one thing I found out in the last several years right now. Yeah, if I'm to do something, do one project at a time right now. Yeah. So vlogging, social media presence, the back burner for a while now. So I'm just walking in Guildhall, where the ancient town hall used to be. I believe it's here. Yeah, this is the Leicester town. It would have been a town at that time, right now. Yeah, way centuries ago, right now. Yeah. So I'm just walking the Guildhall right now. You can see the background, Jubilee Square. Just walk through, yeah. And that's the BBC offices, yeah. Yeah. So, I did think I went to BBC office at one time, some years ago, of some inquiry or rather, it's sort of not related to media or anything like that. It's just they had a, open day, leaflet brochures. I mean, BBC is a news organization, so that's what they do. They broadcast news, so, I mean, So, yeah. Now, normally before, I mean, I had a shower this morning right now, yeah, like I always do, but normally I would shave, but today I thought, well, no, it's not necessary right now, shave every day right now, yeah. Yeah. Now, why am I recording this video, so early in the morning right now, yeah? Well, yesterday, I started working a little while back, right, about 5 weeks. It's the beginning of 6th week now, right now, yeah. Middle of May, I started working as a Uber delivery /walker, yeah, or /cyclist, yeah. I don't use the cycle because, although I have a bicycle right now, yeah, because I find my cycling ability is not up to the mark right now, yeah. So I made my due diligence, everything, made inquiries, and all the food delivery apps, they allow people to deliver food by walking. Obviously, you're not going to do deliver 6 miles down the road for burger and chips, yeah. yeah, walking. You can do that in theory, right now, yeah, but you won't do that. That much I know, right now. So it's a bit just very local, mile, half a mile, 1.3 mile, that kind of thing. So 12 to 15 minutes brisk walk right now, yeah. You can, if you walk really fast, you can do 1.3 miles right now, yeah, in about 12 minutes right now, yeah. So by the time you order your food online, and then somebody a rider gets to pick it up, and so we a good half an hour, 35 minutes, but that is a reasonable time, for a local delivery right now, yeah. God knows, yeah, I order foods before right now, yeah, and take an hour, and eventually you give it up, yeah, and I said, look, no, I've waited too long right now, so. Anyway, so these are the reasons. It's very competitive out there now, right? Yeah. Yeah. So why so early in the morning? So that's because there's not many people about that hours of the morning right now. And I wake up very early now, anyway, right now, because it's work, home, work, home, work, home. That's all. And the body gets tired of. If you work 25, 30 miles a day, right now, really fast work, right now, yeah, even 40 miles a day, right? Yeah. I love working, right? Yeah, and obviously, you do one-way journey, come back, on the way you get an order, so you do another one. So you spend your shift, yeah. There's three shifts: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I made in my inquiries, a little while back, right now, and I'm always making inquiries to these shops, eateries, and Starbucks and all that. And everybody else, yeah. And some people order breakfast, and so some people don't, so it just depends, how, the supply and demand. But of course, you're in London, the city right now, a lot of people eat breakfast right now, yeah, so in the offices, so we're very busy there right now, yeah. I worked in offices, as I worked in the city in London before, in different capacity, yeah. No, as a Uber delivery person right now, yeah. So I see them in the morning, Pret a Manger and all the other coffee shops and all that, yeah. Starbucks certainly right now. Yeah. So this is very busy, yeah. Yeah. So, but I haven't seen this much activity here. There might be, yeah. I mean, but I'm experimenting still, and I'm just making sure that I'm learning, because online you can learn a lot of things, yeah. But that just it's not an exact science, you find out things are different, at the let me just drink this coffee. I brought my coffee with me. This video is not aimed at some kind of professional slick makeover. It's just my thoughts, yeah. I want to put out there right now, yeah. As per record right now, yeah. Now, the city cleaners, they're cleaning the town, yeah, because overnight there's so much, litter about and all that, yeah. Yeah, what happened yesterday right now, yeah. I mean, I did my morning shift, lunch, yeah. I started about just before 11, about 10-15 minutes before 11 o'clock, and bang on 11 o'clock, I got my first order, and so on, so, and about 3 o'clock I finished, and I went back to the house. I had to have a shower. That was the second shower of the day, But in the evening, I came about 5:30, 6 o'clock. No sooner I came down, it started, like monsoon drenching right now. Yes, well, I love a challenge, so I had to reject several orders because it's too 6, 7, 8 miles away. There's no way I could. Of course, you can walk there, but the food will not be. It's just not practical. Without a, two wheels or a 4-wheel right now, yeah, it's just not. So we have to cancel it right there. Not cancel it, not accept the offer. Yeah, just cancel when after you accept, an order, then you cancel it. Yeah. So far, I haven't canceled anything in 7 weeks, yeah. But usually I pick orders, that is deliverable on foot, within reason, of course, yeah. You can't deliver food an hour and a half down the road, yeah, because, they expect within 40 minutes, yeah, 45 minutes at best, because that's a reasonable time. Yeah. But of course, people are used to having delivered, in no time. I think this is the norm, yeah. I mean, okay, people get delivered, mile down the road on a bicycle in 5 minutes, but that's just no here, no there. I mean, the food is ready, it can be sort of simple food, and, so it just depends, So you can't expect just order food and just accept it in the next 10 minutes, Although this could happen right now, and it does happen. I can see somebody on a bicycle or a moped, they could cover a mile, for example, very quickly right now, I'm heading back to Clock Tower right now. I'm going towards Clock Tower, and you can hear the city cleaners, right? They're cleaning the place right now. That's what they do every day anyway. They have to, because otherwise this place will be a complete mess already overnight. Every night it's always like needs cleaning right now. It's coffee right now. So what happened was, it was raining and everything, and I had to reject few orders that is too far off, and to begin with, and it was drenching right now. So the third order came right now. It was a combination of order, and meaning on the way you're doing two delivery, one delivery, another delivery, but just close by, So I accepted that, and I went to both shops and to the order, but it was raining, it was drenching right now, So I took there in good, sort of good time, because the wet weather, the monsoon weather, right now, it was slows you down. You have to walk slowly, you might slip over, and anyway, I went there, right, and the building had no name, although on the order there was a name, but the building had no name, right, So I thought, well, could that be that building or that building? So I messaged the customer, and the customer, was it the customer rang me first, or I rang them? I forgot now. But I was just sort of confused because it was really bad weather, right? It was monsoon, and I was outside, and there's no shelter I could go into. So, and of course I delivered in that neighborhood lots of time right now before. In the shortest time I've been working, 7 weeks now, but many times I ordered in that. Basically, it's a student accommodation neighborhood right now. So now this man, a customer, I think he's a student right now, because it's a student block right now. No more than 22 or so, maybe 23, I don't know, maybe young, I don't know, but it's in those range right now, he picked up the phone, either he called me or I called him, I forgot now, I think I called him right now, and he became very abusive over the phone, He said, you can't take instruction, don't go that way, don't do it that way. Thoroughly like a sort of, a buffoon, really, complete buffoon. It's like you meet a stranger and you haven't even met that person. You have the phone, no protocol, nothing. He said, and I'm right in front of his apartment block, in front of his door, and it starts, and you think, well, is it for a moment maybe is he getting back to his parents or something? Maybe he wasn't spanked enough, hard enough, before, and now he's getting into some stranger who's delivering his food, or what's going on here? He's going to put a humor to this sort of situation like this, I said, so over the phone, and it's bad, but then the line was crackling, and so eventually the man, he came, down right now, and he wouldn't even wave or anything like that, said, well, I'm here, and say, oh, you can't take instruction. I said, excuse me, why are you swearing at me over the phone right now? And he was acting like, he's some kind of, is a sort of overload or something like, yeah. And I say, a kid, yeah. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, a boy, I mean, but you have to give me some context here, right now, yeah. I'm just looking, yeah, if there's anybody, yeah. But I heard there's the KFC. I've done delivery from here as well, right now, yeah. Yeah. And so I was confused, yes, what's going on here? I have to be professional here right now. It's my job. I'm self-employed. I'm a rider. Yeah, walker. Yeah. There's a lot of walkers as in America, in New York, right? It's a big city. Yeah. And anyway, I love my job now because it's something that I mean, what happened was is I done a security course, SIA, door supervisor course, last year, and my badge came in April. And you asked me why it took so long, but it did, yeah. Not because there's any to do with the issue, the security check, no. It's because the company that I took the course, they didn't pay for the security badge fee for 5 months, whatever. Yeah. But no sooner I got the badge, I started this job right now, yeah. So I said, no, I can't wait until this company to give me a job. I have to start working, right, yeah. And I didn't know that you can do delivery food by walking. I assumed, and assumed incorrectly, of course, there's the city cleaners, that you have to, as a requirement, that you need to have at least a bicycle, yeah. That's what I assumed, yeah. I don't know why. Otherwise, I would have been doing this job a long time ago now, right now. Because this is very frustrating when you wait weeks and weeks and months for a job, right? It never comes, yeah. So somehow I spoke to somebody who's done Uber, and said, why don't you do Uber? I said, well, and one thing led to another, and I came across this video, and I saw in America, in New York, a Uber rider who's doing food delivery. So by booking. What I've done was, I made inquiries to all these companies. I checked online, and of course you can order, you can deliver food by walking, yeah. I mean, we're going to take an order for 10 miles away for, for a pancake. They can do that. So it's just sort of reasonable distance, like a mile, or 3/4 of a mile, half a mile, 1.2 mile, 1.1 mile, that kind of thing right now, yeah. But of course you can't take an hour and a half to walk a mile, you have to be very fast, yeah. This is reasonable, time right now. So it's been lovely, and I really love this job now, and something I look forward to, every day now. I take one day off a week, right, yeah. So officially I'm self-employed now. So I'm here at St. Peter's Square. If you can see, yeah, back of the cinema, the High Cross, yeah. Yeah. Here's some shops here, Vietnamese fast food shop. Street food, yeah. So yeah, okay. Then suddenly then I realized the potential of these things right now, yeah. It's right under my nose, I didn't see it, yeah. Had I known that I could do this job, excuse me.
Hi, big man. Where is Genting Casino? Genting.
I don't know any casino. Yeah, so these people, they want to know about some casino. Yeah, so I couldn't indulge people like so early in the morning, but I mean, I'm just doing this recording, so I'm not. I would have tried to give an answer, but I think they did this deliberately just to distract me. There's a lot of people they like that, Anyway, So that's the background right now. And as I got excited, I said, oh my God, oh, I have control. Oh, I can do any hours I like and all that. Oh, yes, you know, and like excitement right now, yeah. So, I mean, so it's there all along right now, yeah. And I assume that at a minimum, you need a bicycle. Of course, you can make more money by having bicycle or a moped, of course, certainly a car. But you can. I mean, in the 7 weeks I've been working now, right now, yeah, it hasn't been that bad. In the beginning, it was slow because I had to get used to walking, that much walking every week, every day, yeah. But in the last 2 weeks, I say marked improvement, yeah, on how long I take to deliver and how much my earning, yeah, it's pretty much doubled, yeah. In 1 week it's tripled, yeah. But that's because I'm only using one food delivery app, which is Uber, yeah. And I applied for the others, Deliveroo, Just Eat, and is Stewart. But Stewart, they're not in Leicester. They used to be there in London and elsewhere. But if you live in London, you could, if you move there or whatever, you can work there. So I'm on the waiting list now. I get an occasional email saying I'm still in the waiting list right now. I'm just looking, So that's the background. The excitement, everything is, yeah. So I open an account, and I apply for this job right now, yeah. A couple of weeks down the road, my DBS check was done, everything else, yeah. And then I could on board, but then the excitement was so much excitement. I had to take 3 weeks break from work. I said, I can't take this. I feel like I'm in control now. I can book any hours I like, whatever. I don't have to say anything to anybody. If I don't want to, I don't have to conform to anything. I don't have to pretend anything. I can be myself, of course, within reason right now. Yeah, and just do my job. Do my job in a way that my customers are happy, and that's it. Yeah, and they put a and a good review. Yeah. So what happened yesterday was which is. Not that all surprising, yeah. But, you see these things online, right, yeah. And I did some checking as well yesterday, right, yeah. And I find out there's so many issues out there. Violence against riders and all that, yeah. Food delivery riders, yeah. All over the world, I'm afraid, you see, yeah. And so that's a symptom of society, right, yeah. So this man is just like a crazy person, if you like, right? He just started swearing me on the phone. Bizarre. It's like somebody comes along, sort of starts swearing. Oh my coffee, excited. I spilled some of it in the, a little bit on the pavement. Yeah. So and I said, oh well, I'm not actually, I'm not going to put up with this, yeah. I'm not here for this, yeah. So I said, let this man comes out right now, yeah. And I feel like I've been ganged up, yeah. And I can see he was sharing the call between some other people. I can see people at the background laughing as well, So I think this was a, what they call it, ambush. It was an ambush, you can tell. It's, between them, they coordinated this. Let's have a go at one of the riders, yeah. And the shame of it is that these people right now, yeah, their families, yeah, they send them to universities and all that, yeah. And the van is coming. Just imagine, yeah, after 8 o'clock, so busy, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I had a choice here, yeah. I had to contain the situation right now, yeah, because it will not end well for anybody right now, yeah. Because there's camera everywhere. Who touched who? Touching me in assault. and one could be provoked easily. So I just took a sort of view, like pretended I didn't know much English. Yeah, you know. So of course I've lived in Britain, most probably before their parents were born here, yeah. So I know I play some kind of. Sometimes you have to contain situation there, yeah? So you act dumb sometimes, right now. Yeah. So yeah, yes sir, you are sir, right now, all that sort of thing, right now. Yeah. So, but then I said, let me give this man this food, and the next order, which is next door, really, yeah, in the same apartment block right now, yeah. Or the next building, yeah, just next to it right now. So otherwise, he might not accept the food, and he might get violent. So I might have to defend myself and fisticuffs, yeah, and all this will end up in court, and this is what happens, because a lot of these people they have to have their, they have to be right, and they have to make sure that they win, yeah, So this is exactly what I'm doing. I only started this job 7 weeks ago now, and that's the last thing I need to say. Usually, these people they take that kind of situation where you are so weak at that level that's when they jump at you, right? Not in different situation. Not if you're in a boxing ring, of course. Yeah. They do a bit of boxing here now and then, right? Yeah. They won't do that because they know what will happen inside the boxing ring, right? That is right now, yeah. So I'm thinking, oh God, what am I supposed to do? So I have to pretend dumb, yeah. Yeah. So I said, look, and he acted very strange, like somebody who's new into the country, the mannerism, people of South Asian origin, right? They're, don't speak to me like that, and I'll get you this, that, and I was just about to say, why did you speak like that? I said, better notice, you might provoke this man, if you like, So, but he's no more than 22 right now, yeah. And what really was very, very disheartening is Indian Pakistani origin, yeah. This them or Bangladeshi. I don't think it's Bangladeshi because he has an anglicized name, here. I'm not going to say what name that is, yeah. But he had an anglicized name. I said, "Is that you?" Yeah. Right, yeah, so it's me, right, yeah. But it was an ambush. Like you could tell, because you're laughing and giggling, right, yeah. They're probably on drugs or drink. I mean, who knows? I mean, yeah. So I said, let's do this, yeah. And it was pouring. It was wet, everything, yeah. So as soon as I'd done the order, what I've done is, I switch off the app, and then no, I didn't switch it off. I came back to town, let's say the center. This delivery was about a mile away, and I came back, yeah, and then I waited for a while and get an order, and then I switched off. So now I lost the momentum now with these things. It was really good to stay until about 10 o'clock at night. It's, yeah, because remember when I do delivery on foot right now, it takes about 3 times the amount of time you would take if you do it on a cycle, right? Yeah. So because you have to walk there. On cycle, you could be in no time. You could be there. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to prepare yourself physically to do this job, right? Yeah. Yeah. So then I went home, right? Yeah. And so, no. What I did before I went home, I went to the police station. And then after I came back from the delivery, right now, I went straight to the police station and reported all this, right now. Yeah, they came back to the station, and then I said, should I go home or no? So I switched on the app again, right now, and there's nothing happening. So I went back home, right now. Yeah. So that's what I did. You see, now, yeah. So I don't want to put, there's so much detail right now, yeah, to put right now, but I'm just making sure that this is on record right now, yeah, because usually you forget these things, if a person is completely off their rock horse right now, yeah, And the worst thing is that this man, most likely goes to university. And if his university finds out or his landlord finds out that he's breaking his tenancy agreement, because basically you're attacking somebody in their building right now, and your tenancy agreement, you know how these things goes right now, And I think he had a sort of these people, right, they come to these places, right, and they probably get bored or they have some issues with their, lifestyle, right, and they just take it some stranger. But I wish to God is he, I mean, he has a lot to lose, you see, I mean, because there's certainly CCTV in the student block right now, so it'll be video and everything right now, and of course I can keep a camera, but we're not allowed to record customers, faces or any recording, as far as best of my knowledge, because it's again data protection, so that will be sort of some kind of deterrence right now, But I thought of that, and then I found out that, really allowed to video people right now, while you're doing the delivery right now. So so that's another thing, So anyway, I did my bit, right, everything right now. So I came home, I had to have a shower right now. So I ate something, everything, Then I got in touch with the Uber, and I told them everything, and they got back to me before I went to sleep, and they agreed to decided to not to pair with me with the same account holder, and if by chance, that I do get account, an order gets paired with the same account holder, then I should reject it. That's what Uber told me, right? And then they're going to, according to Uber, take appropriate measures or actions, as far as the account holder goes, but Uber will determine that. I don't know what those appropriate action, would be, but that's their responsibility, really. Yeah. So, but I kept my end of the bargain, if you like, right now, because I'm just delivering food, I'm walking right now, and this is bizarre. It's like an attack on somebody right now, and because because the law in Britain, you say, is so strict right now, and then you have progress. People take abuse at you, and you can't say anything back to them, and because then I don't know, so. Anyway, so I thought I'd record this, everything, and put it on our social media and my YouTube channel, So, I mean, I became a bit more engaging during the COVID, right? There's nothing else to do, so it was mainly my thought. I go to the park, my local parks, here in Leicester, Victoria Park mainly, right now, or sometime Abbey Park as well, a few times, take videos and all that, and just my thought, so this is what's happening, you see, and really, it's a shocking state of affair for people. I mean, this man has so much to lose. University, I mean, your peers, your colleagues, people, and if you start behaving like this with people, strangers that you don't know from Adam, that expect somebody to give you a job after you left university. I mean, what is? I mean, is it Boris revisited? sorry, Mr. Ex-Prime Minister. I have nothing to personally against anybody. Let alone high up of society right now. But I'm just saying, like, all these comical moments. You find yourself in right. What is going on here, right? And and you wonder what kind of family these people come from, right? Very badly brought up, and let's be ashamed of these children that sent to university here in a great city of Leicester, right now, and probably some kind of dysfunctional family, and these people, they live in their bubble, I'm afraid, if you go outside this country and you find out, Oh God, yeah. How can I behave like this? Because I've been to abroad. I lived abroad as well. I've lived in south of France, sometime right now. Yeah, I live. I was on holiday various countries in the world. Yeah, I went to Far East in America and all that. So I do see this from society. Yeah, how people live and everything. It's not that I have, and I've been living in Leicester for 23 years now. And before that, I used to live in London. Yeah, and but this is it, yeah. And these folks, yeah, I mean, they bring up their families and they send their offspring to educate themselves, yeah. And this is what they get up to right now, yeah. And I really don't see any future for these people right now. What are they going to do right now, yeah? Do painting and decorating in 10 years' time? I mean, you have robot doing all that all now, yeah. Painting and decorating, that is, yeah. And we go artificial intelligence, 3D technology. I mean, they're constructing building with 3D technology. Yeah. So, really, a lot of this, these businesses, they'll be just like manufacturers going to automation right now, yeah. And I wonder, why people, I mean, do what they do right now. But just for my record, I just thought I'd record this video. And yeah, there's 3 van here. I'm just going to go to yeah, so this is what happened yesterday right now, yeah. And what time is it now? It's 6:55, so it's nearly 7 o'clock. It's getting busy now. We're going to head back to Jubilee Square. It's in Highcross Street now. Yeah, there's some scaffolding here. You can see they're working here. Yeah, so this is the sad state of affair right now. You see, now I'm going to follow this more and more. What goes in the lives of Uber riders, because so much into my job in the last 7 weeks that I'm enjoying it, everything. Suddenly, it's like I can do this job right now, yeah. And I can do this job, and I'm doing it now, and I'm really enjoying it, yeah. But sometimes you have to really, ask yourself what's going on here, it's these people, right, yeah. I mean, if you see what's going on around the world now, the war in Ukraine and all that, yeah. Not that far from here, yeah. And there's so much inflation, cost of living, and all that, yeah. So anyway, this is just to record and make sure that I don't forget myself right now. Report to the police and everything right now. Yeah, if there's any development, then I should inform the police, right? Of course, and do my bit, Yeah.